That's not going to do it. They can take 10 more damage, please.
There's so many goblins. There's about 4.
It's not my time yet. This isn't right.
Kraloth, make a save versus death.
I mean, they're horse-sized wolves.
Doran, there is a warg that is snarling at you.
I snarl back.
Okay. Make a snarl check.
Pierces through and pins its lower jaw to the stone floor. With a natural 1!
Oh my god!
Hello and welcome to the first episode of Dice Shame. We are playing 5th edition D&D actual play of Storm King's Thunder, published by Wizards of the Coast. Justin's really excited about it.
Yeah.
My name is Joe Fallick, and I'll be GMing for your listening pleasure. I love D&D, and I'm going to be trying my utmost to keep the game exciting and mostly by the books. What is Dice Shame? If you've ever played a tabletop RPG, you know the sinking feeling when your favorite D20 fails you at a critical moment. What'd you roll?
3.
Oh my god, a 3.
I know.
That's not as bad as 1.
Sometimes it feels like the dice will only roll ones. Well, we wanted to officially let our dice know that this will not be tolerated. Bad dice pay the price. That's my new slogan.
Oh, that's
That's
so
a
good.
tagline.
That's so good.
I mean,
Thank
it's
you.
a thing.
My co-hosts and I have been gaming and live streaming weekly for over 5 years as the Invictus Stream. You can find all our videos at our YouTube channel, but in case you're not familiar with us, let's take a second to introduce ourselves.
My name is Mr. Harlan Guthrie. I am a person.
That's good. What-
I got role-playing late in life. I love it. I'm new to D&D relatively, but I've learned enough about the rules to enjoy it. Mm-hmm. I like stuff. I'm drinking a beer, so that's as far as I'm going to get.
who are you playing?
Tonight I am playing Red-Handed Robin, a Tabaxi ranger who is naive to the world and excited to experience it and yet proficient in combat. He should be a fun
Nice.
character to play, and he's going to talk a little bit like Carrie Elwes, I think.
Is that how Carrie Elwes talks?
I don't know, but in this world it is.
Carrie Elwes
My
as a
version of
fox.
Carrie Elwes as a
Nice.
fox.
Alex.
I'm a level 1 human.
In real life.
Human
real life,
insurance
In
broker.
IRL.
My name is Alex. Harlan and I are brothers.
Aw.
And in real life,
Oh,
I'm going to be playing Doran Ironfist, the middle-aged blacksmith and battle...
Insurance broker.
not insurance broker,
Battle of Insurance.
I'll quote you.
but battle
It's gotta be an industry.
battle experienced dwarf from the deep of the Great Peak Mountains.
Rob?
Hi, I am Rob Diabald. I'm a community and convention organizer for the Toronto Area Gamers and Breakout Con here in Toronto. I'm a gamer for a long time. I'm an engineer in real life. I've been streaming with the Invictus Stream for a couple of campaigns. I think those are. And today I'm playing Jack Page, the wizard from Waterdeep, also known as Lord Johannes Iveben Page, scion of the House of Wands. He's a map maker and cartographer and general rich intellectual shirking his family duties of becoming a wizard and using wands and stuff to like go off and play in the dirt.
That old yarn.
You know how it goes when you can just like one day you're in the east of Tethir and then you're on the border of and then you just travel around.
I know all those names.
That's privilege right there.
Right, like it's anyways.
Elf privilege.
Half elf, thank you. And that's
Sorry.
like
Half privilege.
I mean, you're not even getting to the elf side. My mom from Silvery Moon, my god. Anyways.
Justin, who are you?
Hi, I'm Justin. I am. I've been playing with the Invictus Stream since day one, and I am an audiobook narrator. Some fantasy sci-fi stuff you might want to check out.
That's not
There'll be a QR code
As you could
embedded in our
probably
logo.
tell, I'm an audiobook narrator.
It's a good voice.
Justin's like,
It's a voice.
"Hi, I'm Justin."
Wow.
It's always the closest you get to
ASM,
Mike is
or whatever
the
it's
most
called.
serious it is.
ASMR.
The closer.
It's like ASL.
Awesome.
Exactly.
I just missed the R.
And he's my best friend.
Yes, in real life and in the game, I'm going to be playing Kraloth. Kraloth, the cleric, grave cleric, who served on the Knights of the Eternal Order, slaying the undead.
Oh,
A
those
very-
are the dark times.
Those are the dark times. Yeah, I had a really rough time wandering the mists alone after my crew died, my squad. And I made it to Faerun somehow. And I met this guy who
Hello.
kind of broke me out of my funk. I met Red, and I'm feeling a lot better about life and all that.
You
stuff,
make me
so.
feel a lot better too.
You said
Hopefully he can break me out of my funk.
Oh, we'll get there.
Strangers in a strange land.
you said cleric squad, and I just imagine the like cheesiest
Squad.
comic book.
The sad cleric. The happy cleric.
And you sort of introduced yourself, ish, but
I did.
who is you?
I'm Joe Phallic. I'm a scientist by day and sometimes by night, depending on the shift. And I like DMing a lot. I've been with the Invictus stream for like 3 years, I think. And I'm really lucky to be sitting across the table from all of you today. I'm dating Harlan.
What?
Should
That was
we-
not meant to
Oh,
be a
spoilers.
Oh.
Sorry.
In game or out of game?
I got my brother, my best friend, and my gal. This is and then Rob.
Yeah.
Rob's here too.
Rob's here too.
Rob's doing a great job. I like sitting next
But
to
there's
Rob.
there's always room in the best friend department.
You know,
It's true.
I don't need to be the best friend. I'm happy to settle for just friends with everyone. I'll
There you
take
go.
it.
Frob.
Okay, well,
Frob.
Frob.
That's my
Yeah.
new one. Frob.
Frobs. That like what is that? What's the R?
Friend Rob.
Oh,
Frob. What just popped
Alex
out?
and I can be best friends. It's fine.
Yeah.
Portmanteaus are us. Who's ready to play some mother effing D&D?
D&D! And let's say shame some dice.
Yeah, PNP.
Oh, that's a 17. I'm
Dynamite.
keeping it.
Don't shame that.
I'm
it
not
was
going
a
to shame
4.
a
I'm
17.
fine too.
Okay, good. A noble has contacted you. Namely, she wrote to Jack, her longstanding friend and acquaintance, about some issues that she's been having with Nightstone. Jack, you would know, and perhaps you've told your companions, that Nightstone is a settlement that's proximal to the Ardeep Forest. The closest large center is Waterdeep, which is where you're from. It's about a 10-year-old settlement only, so I'm not sure if any of you have been there. Probably not, because it's a pretty small place. And she has asked you for some help. There's a long-standing and seemingly irreconcilable conflict with the elves that live in the Ardeep Forest, and Lady Velrosa Nandar has asked for your help, Jack, and for whoever you might like to bring along for assistance in mediating between the elves and the members of her community to resolve a dispute. She said there was going to be a negotiator and that you guys would be assisting, and she begged you to come with haste.
Is this something you've told us then, Jack?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I've never been to Nandar. I'm excited to or to Nightstone. I met Lady Nandar at her keep when we were kids, like 30 years
Some
ago.
soiree.
No, it was a summer. They had discovered this old. Anyways, we don't need to get into it. It was an old wizard's tower, and I got to like explore it a little bit. It was very neat, and I stayed the summer with them, and so Velrosa and I became close. We're about the same age, and it was just we've been writing letters and being friends ever since. Tragically, her husband passed away last year.
Yes, you would know this actually was an altercation with the elves.
She's been doing some really good community building in Nightstone and trying to do the best. So I'm really actually excited to go and get a chance to catch up with her.
Well, if mediation's involved, I think we'd be perfect people to come. What do you say, Kraloth?
I think it's a good idea. I'm ready to hit the road.
You've always struck me as a peacemaker.
Well, I mean, every single issue out there can be resolved. And all it takes is a little diplomacy,
Yeah.
maybe some running around, doing some quests, making life a little easier for folks. I don't think it's going to be a problem.
Dancing.
Dancing!
Dancing helps.
Sometimes, as long as you're not on the bar table.
Well, Doran, you're a past warrior, but you agree with mediation.
I tend to not negotiate.
Doran, the name Nightstone rings a bell in the far reaches of your memory. You actually know someone who lives there, surprisingly, for such a small community. There is a dwarf innkeeper who resides in Nightstone by the name of Morak Urge. Someone who, I don't know, how are you familiar with them?
Nightstone. I know an innkeeper there. Norak Mulkgray, I think it was. Can't remember
You guys go way back.
exactly.
How did you meet him?
Well, I can't remember his last name that well. We battled together in the first wars of this land.
Did you kill him?
No. I think he might have some insight into this if we go and visit him first. That would be
Well, living there is a great start. Has he been there the whole 10 years that it's been a place? Or?
I haven't talked to him in probably 50 years, but I do recall speaking to my cousin who ran into him about 8 years ago in Nightstone, saying that he was running an inn there. I'm sure he would recognize me and take us in.
Maybe free room and board.
I wouldn't count on it.
Maybe free chicken.
Maybe.
A beer?
Possibly.
Half a beer.
Yes.
Oh, let's go.
Would you consider him a close friend? Is this close for dwarves? I don't
Half a beer is pretty close.
I don't have many close friends anymore.
understood.
But we knew each other. We've battled together. We've locked eyes on the battlefield.
No, I know that exact rapport that you're talking about.
I have a lot of respect for people that will bear arms at my side.
Well, then to Nightstone. I say we're all in the same mood for adventure, and you know someone there.
I would love
Both
to
of you
see
do.
him.
Kraloth and I will tag along for, why not, funds?
Fun.
Maybe we can lock eyes.
Maybe we'll lock eyes, yes. I'd be happy to have you joining us, and hopefully it doesn't ever come to combat, but
If
it
it
would
does,
be wonderful to be in combat with you.
as I said, I don't negotiate, but I'm happy to help settle negotiations.
I know exactly what you mean.
Kraloth and I have been traveling together for a while, so don't come between us or anything. Just
Nothing could come between us, my friend.
I hope so.
You want to hop on the shoulders
A
this
little
time?
bit, yes.
Yeah, all right, hop
Jolly
on.
good. Okay.
All right, let's do this.
You've been traveling along the high road for days. As evening approaches, you spot a wooden signpost next to a trail that heads north into the hills. Nailed to the post are 3 arrow-shaped signs. The 2 marked Waterdeep and Daggerford follow the high road but point in opposite directions. The 3rd, marked Nightstone, beckons you to follow the trail. If memory serves, Nightstone is roughly 10 miles up the trail.
Now, I'm no cartographer, but it was Nightstone we were trying to go for, correct?
Oh, no, it definitely is.
Oh, good.
I'm marking it up on the map here. It says it should be about 10 kilometers up the road here, and we're at Nightstone.
Oh, so not too much farther. Is it getting dark out?
It's becoming early evening, we'll say. Maybe it's supper time. Your tummies tell you that it's time for num-nums.
My tummy is grumbly.
I can feel it up there.
I have jerky. Does anyone want any? I pull some jerky out and hand it to you.
Yep, feed me a piece.
It's rabbit.
I would love a piece of meat.
Well, Doran, of course, here you go. And I hop down off Kraloth's shoulders and walk over excitedly. I love the way you chew.
It's tasty.
Jack?
Yeah, I'll certainly try it. Where did it come from?
Some animal. I think rabbit, probably.
It was a rabbit. I watched the whole thing. He's quite talented at cooking.
Oh, you should watch this. And I pull my bow off my back and, like, super fast fire an arrow at the nearest tree. Just brrrring. Wait, and I fire another arrow, and I'm going to try to split it. With a natural 1!
Oh, my God.
That's the first roll on the podcast.
You fucking bitch.
All right.
Your arrow flies off into the gathering darkness, and you
And I
should
just hold that pose for a moment.
I don't know what that was supposed to be.
No, that's what I wanted. I just wanted you to see.
just mark 1 arrow off on your quiver there,
That's
babe.
what I did.
He's much.
Wow, you fired those so fast.
I thought that was what I was going for.
Yeah, sometimes
And
he gets carried away.
You know. And I like sulk up the road a little bit.
Do the tabaxi eat wood? I'm a little confused at what's going on here.
No, I just wanted to show things.
See, Doran, it's the part where I get that Red shot a rabbit. And then now we have jerky. And I feel like something had to happen between the two. And that's the part I was really interested in.
Yeah.
But there was really entirely missed in the explanation.
I was trying to illustrate that he did cook it, and he's quite good at cooking the rabbits. I mean, he's good at shooting them too, usually.
Yes, I mean, listen, you saw me hit that tree. Everyone saw it. It was a perfect shot.
Well, you didn't have to roll for that.
No, but the first time, I mean, I hit it.
The first time, yeah, you didn't.
I mean, it's a rather large tree, but it was a tree nonetheless, and I hit it. And if it was moving, you would have been impressed.
So it's just 10 kilometers up the road
Let's
here.
go.
Can't wait to see my friend Valrosa.
After following the trail for 10 kilometers, you hear the ringing of a bell. The sound grows louder as Nightstone comes into view. A river flows around the settlement, forming a moat. The village itself is contained within a wooden palisade beyond which you see a windmill, a tall steeple, and the high-pitched roofs of several other buildings. Apart from the ringing of the bell, you detect no other activity in the village. The trail ends before a lowered drawbridge that spans the moat. Beyond the drawbridge, 2 stone watchtowers flank an open gap in the palisade. South of the village, and surrounded by the river moat, is a cone-shaped, flat-topped hill on which stands a stone keep, enclosed by a wooden wall. The keep, which overlooks the village, has partly collapsed. A wooden bridge that once connected the keep to the village is also partly collapsed.
Can I roll perception?
You certainly may.
Just a general perception. I'm going to try again on this dice. That is a natural
You gonna risk
one.
it?
That's 1 strike.
It's got 1 strike.
Little red
I don't
dice.
have a rule for how many times.
This is red dice, white numbers.
Yeah. No, his name is
Is that a
Chester.
tabaxi name?
Chest.
This is Chester.
Chester the
And
dice.
if this dice fails me again, he's dead. No, you know what? He's the first die roll. He goes in the box. Hand me the jar.
Are you sure?
Yeah, you know what? He doesn't get a second. Goodbye, and I'll take a new one. Thank
Bye,
you.
dice.
Bye, dice. Okay, thank you, Justin. Okay, that's not bad. 18 plus 4, 22.
Okay.
Some eyes, Red.
Thank you.
What color are your eyes?
Red.
Ooh, really?
Yes.
That's
Go
spooky.
figure.
Gross.
So you're close to the keep, the Mott of the Mott and Bailey. Sounds like a comedy troupe.
Mutton Bailey.
The outer walls of the keep seem to be smooth, tightly fitted stone. You can see from your position that it would be pretty difficult to scale. You, as a creature who has a climbing speed, would recognize this as a difficult
I have a climbing
activity.
speed. That's right.
You also notice that one of the outside towers of the keep seems to have been demolished.
Looks like they could use some repairs on that keep.
Yeah, it looks like there's. Who's been to this village before? You guys have been here before?
It's only
Never.
10 years old, actually. It's fairly new, so I've never had a chance to come by.
Oh, okay.
You mentioned that, though, your friend, Velarosa's husband, he was killed by the elves, right?
Yeah, Dreslin. Lord Nandar, I'm sure you'd have heard of him as Lord Nandar. But yeah, Dreslin sadly passed away a year or so ago.
Does it look like signs of attack with the 22? Like, does it look like these have fallen from outside forces?
It doesn't look like they're doing extensive renos.
I don't know. Maybe it was a 10-year-old village, but a 1,000-year-old castle.
So
I would.
Great point.
Thank you.
I just rolled
These
this
look-
natural 20 on a history check.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so I'm a know-it-all, and I want to show off.
So you know from your conversations, your written exchanges with Lady Nandar, that Nightstone got its name from a massive chunk of rock that exists within the center of this village. She has told you about it because she knows that you are obsessed with archaeology.
I mean, it's my jam.
And she has told you that this large chunk of stone has strange glyphs carved into it. This is something that has piqued your interest for some time, and, you know, it's one of the reasons that you're maybe pretty excited to come here.
I mean, I do want to visit my friend. We've been friends for 30 years, but yeah, large stone covered in glyphs. I've been putting it off way too long.
Yes. Additionally, you know that the nobles of House Nandar have had a hunting lodge in the forest for about 2 centuries, but the elves that live there forced them to abandon it. And this keep, this Mott and Bailey, is a relatively new endeavor by your friend and her family to create a more permanent establishment, and probably the reason that the elves attacked last year was, you know, they're not super happy that Waterdavian nobles come here on hunting vacations.
Doran, this might be really interesting to you. It's called Nightstone because there's this big stone carved with all these weird old carvings on it. I can't wait to see it.
So it's not just a clever name.
Ancient stone certainly does pique my interest.
Right? How cool is that?
I'm a little bit concerned about the status of this place. It looks like it hasn't been upkept very well, and with the tensions that have been happening with the elves, I don't know. My mind is kind of racing.
Have the 4 of you just been steadily walking
Yeah.
the path
Yeah.
toward the lower drawbridge?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It would seem to me that this keep This stone building is far too new to be simply withering away. I would gather that this is destruction from war.
I pull out my shield and mace. And
The ringing of the bell has been shepherding you toward this establishment. Like, it is constantly ringing.
As you pull out your shield, there's just a moment of thought that, I do want to believe that I'm going safely to my friend's house, but maybe I'll put the mage armor up for a couple of hours just in case.
Why not?
It's just
Spend that
can't
first
hurt
level
to be-
spell.
Can't hurt to be too careful.
Yes, girl.
And I will draw my bow because everyone else is, and I want to be included.
Same here. I pull out my battle axe and I've got my shield at the ready.
And I nudge Doran. Are you getting ready? Because Kraloth and Jack are getting ready?
Doran just looks at you.
I thought so.
As you approach the drawbridge, you can see a little ways into the center of town. You see a smattering of rocks, it looks like, littering the main square. You also see some large quadrupedal hairy creatures on the northeast side of the square. There are two of them. They appear to be picking at the corpse of a dog. They don't seem to have noticed you. And the bell is sounding from your left, so that's to the north continually.
Can I do a perception check?
Sure.
To see if I recognize what these creatures
Yeah, when you
are.
say
You would roll a
large-
nature check to see if you know
Nature?
what the creatures are.
A 14.
Okay.
Because
Doran, what do your dwarf eyes see? Metal.
I see large hairy animals.
Well, I see that too.
They
what
are
are they?
they are large in category in terms of you guys are medium creatures. This is a large. These are both large creatures.
Okay.
You have not seen them before in the flesh, but you have heard of wargs. These are sometimes used as mounts by
Orcs.
and the like.
Beasts.
Those are riding beasts of the enemy folk to dwarves.
Sounds like it's time to dance.
I ready my...
Yeah. Now you can...
Yeah.
I'm going to... I think I'll stealth up.
So the three of you stay on the drawbridge while Red stealths toward the wargs.
Is there a position I can get on the other side of the drawbridge that's high? Can I scale something or climb something to get to a higher position?
There are a good couple buildings here.
Perfect. I think I would try to stealth forward and climb real quick.
Yeah.
Okay. So Red, you stealth forward on the drawbridge and you see there is a large temple to your left, which is the north of the map.
Perfect.
You also see a large building to the north in the center of town. This looks like it could be maybe the inn. There's some kind of stables, and there are a number of farms littered throughout this map.
Is there any something high closest to the drawbridge that I can just kind of scale quickly?
I would say the temple definitely fits that bill, being that it has a bell tower, the bell of which is continually ringing. So you could probably climb atop that building and get, we'll call it 40 feet in
Perfect.
the air.
I'll scale that quickly. Do you want me to roll stealth?
Yes, I do.
I roll with disadvantage.
Really?
Yay! Yeah, because I
Why?
have armor. 11.
Ooh. You make a break for it. As stealthily as you can, you run across the square toward
That's how Red runs.
So stealthy.
That's probably why you have disadvantage.
toward the. Well, what are you wearing? Red, what are you
My
wearing?
cloak. Red is dressed in like a cloak that hides his cut ears. Story for another day. But basically, he's wearing scale armor underneath that, and he has his bow drawn. His
The-
hands or feet are uncovered.
The fast pace that you make across the square in order to arrive at the temple before the wargs notice you makes your armor clink and shuffle with every step you take. And as you get to the base of this building and start taking your first handholds climbing up the side, both of the creatures turn and look at you and your companions on the drawbridge.
Hello.
Roll for initiative. Dun, 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 dun.
Go.
Fuck this fucking dice. 20 to a 1. Can you imagine?
No.
It's pretty swingy. Let me
Is that
tell
a
you.
1?
It was a 1. It was a 20. Then it was a 1. But see, Now I feel like we're averaging 10. I can't get rid of it yet.
You don't have to.
For the
Okay,
listeners at
okay.
home, Harlan just pushed the dice shame jar toward Rob and he declined.
21.
I got 11.
And 10 for Doran.
10 for Doran.
The exploring.
And
So it works out to be a 3 for Jack. Would you like a separate initiative for my owl familiar?
you can have your owl act on the same count.
Kieran, my owl familiar, is it's been a constant friend since I learned magic. It was one of
Aw.
the Yeah, well, I mean, ish. Came a little late to having a familiar. It was a little.
I love
Just
him,
like
sort
puberty.
of.
You know, it's you wait for it. Everybody says it's going to happen in its own time. You're going to find the right spirit for you, and
And then it happens and you're just disappointed.
And it's like, oh my goodness, where did this?
Then you spend
you're
all
embarrassed.
afternoon at home with your owl, like, don't come in, Mom and Dad!
Yeah.
you go on a
Pimples start
vacation
coming out.
and you're alone in the woods for a little while,
and she breaks up with you.
You know, and then suddenly there's this fey spirit come to you in the form of an owl, and you become fast friends forever, right?
That's how it
a
happened for
universal
me, for
Are
experience.
we talking
sure.
about
Why
sex?
do birds suddenly appear?
Doran just stands there looking at you in awe of this.
Owl.
Red, it's your turn. You are about 10 feet up the side of a building.
Yeah, I'm just going to scale it to the roof.
Okay, you do so.
So I have a climb speed of 20 feet. How many feet is it to the roof?
I said 30, 40. We'll see you can get up there with your speed.
Well, I have feline agility, so I'm going to use double my move in combat, which will
Yes.
give me a chance to attack in this round. And then when I get to the top, I'm going to fire at the nearest warg.
There are 2 wargs, and they are both looking hungrily?
Hungry like a wolf?
Hungry like wargs.
Cut through the ground. I'm going to fire down on top of you. 12 to hit.
You miss.
Arrgh!
Sorry.
Yep.
Kraloth, you are on the drawbridge. You see Red climb the side of this temple, the bell ringing.
I run forward, my armor clanking with my mace drawn and my shield out. I'm going to do double move,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, you dash.
Let's do this.
Doran, what do you do?
Doran stands at the edge of the drawbridge, and with Jack standing behind him, he braces himself almost like a big iron door. In front, there is no warg going in or out, and certainly not going to be attacking my tall, lanky half-elf friend here, who's definitely under-equipped for claws and teeth.
A strong breeze could knock him over.
Right. So I ready myself. In fact, I ready myself for potentially this warg either leaving or trying to attack me
Okay.
with my axe.
So you're going
In
to
one
ready an
hand.
action, essentially?
Yes,
If a warg comes within 5 feet of you, you're going to swing at it?
absolutely.
Okay.
Correct.
Perfect. It's the warg's turns.
Huh. Good God, y'all.
Red is sort of like looking over his shoulder at Doran, excitedly expecting him to do something awesome.
Both wargs get within biting distance of Kraloth. One of them has an action left. The other one had to use movement as an action to get up to you. And the warg launches itself at you, and its teeth sink only into your heavy armor. You shake it off. Jack, what happens? You see Red fire ineffectually. You see these wargs close on your friend.
Yeah, I mean, there's a moment of quick telepathic communication with Kieran as the owl flies up to try and get a bird's eye view and just make sure 2 wargs are not alone. They did not do this. Find whatever else is out there and let me know about it. So I'd
good
like Kieran
thinking.
to.
Kieran takes to the sky, circles around Nightstone. What's his fly speed? Do you know off the
60
top
feet.
of your hand? So he circles around and he tells you that there are goblins here.
Okay. Do you have a number?
Can owls count?
Absolutely.
He says, I see as many as you.
That's not the owl's voice.
I see as many as you.
That's the owl's voice.
I mean, if it was going to talk telepathically, it's much cooler. I
Yeah.
promise.
Jack, there's so many goblins. There's about four goblins.
It's like the secretary from Ghostbusters.
Oh, Kieran, it's a good thing I love you. Yeah. So,
Caw.
And he comes back.
What an owl says.
Owls go who?
Owl cause.
This one does. Shut up.
Telepathically.
Poo, caw, poo, poo.
so I'm gonna reach into my satchel, make sure I got that orb of mine, and I'm going to toll the dead on the first one.
Ooh.
So it's just this big sonorous hum that starts in this orb and like thumps like a pressure wave hitting your chest as it goes by until it gets to one of these wargs that has to make a save for me.
Ooh, is that a cantrip?
Yeah.
I've never heard of this cantrip
Oh, it
before.
is from Xanthar's Guide to Everything.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I have to make what kind of save?
You need to make me a wisdom saving throw with DC 13.
That's an 8.
That's an 8. That's not doing it.
I did a bad job.
And now I get to roll a D12. No, is it injured is my question.
No.
2 necrotic damage as this like big thump from it, this sound that echoes off its fur, like almost pulls some of its soul out with it.
He lays his ears back along his skull and bares his teeth in a growl, kind of lays his body low along the ground.
Did I get a general direction of the goblins from Kieran?
You got a northeast and a southeast.
All right. And I'll say mostly to Doran, 4 goblins, some northeast, some southeast.
Okay.
Can I hear that?
I'm gonna shouting it. I'm not trying it
Yeah, you can
to
hear
hide
that.
it.
Perfect.
And Doran, sort of as a side note, kind of looks at you with impress, if that's a word.
Yeah.
It is now.
Impressed
I mean, it is
with
a
your
word.
ability to kind of what the hell just happened there.
Magic.
I felt like a wave go through me.
Magic. Red, it's your turn.
I'm gonna finish the works. I'm gonna attack the one that was already attacked.
Okay, the one that had a sonorous tone.
Correct. That's gonna be a 16 to hit,
You hit.
and that's gonna be 11 damage, piercing.
You strike the warg between its shoulder blades. It whines in response, but seems to retain some of its health and vitality as it growls at you. Kraloth, what happens next?
Good hit, friend. And I'm going to swing my mace and try to bring it down on this one that Red just hit.
Okay.
Ooh, and that's not going to be enough. That is a 8 to hit.
No.
Not enough.
No, you are a little bit rattled from how big these creatures are and that there are 2 of them
Massive. Yeah.
directly in front of you. Doran, what do you do?
With a speed of 25, can I make it up to these guys?
If you double move, you're going to have to count it out.
This is futile. He drops his axe and he pulls out his crossbow and quickly loads it.
Okay.
9.
Nope, you miss. Your bolt flies wide. You're trying to not hit Kraloth, and the wargs are. It's too. You can't really get a clean shot.
But question: Does the bolt that flies off distract either of the wargs and make them aware of my
They definitely know that you're there.
already?
You want to pull their attention?
Kind of.
You could try doing like an intimidation or something, or a persuade. I don't know. You need to do something like, "I'm a delicious dwarf."
That'd probably be an action.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
It is the warg's turn. They are both going to try to chomp Kraloth.
Could use some help on the front line.
That's a miss with a 9 and a hit with a 24.
Ooh,
Holy shizy.
shizy.
You don't have very many hit points, do you, Kraloth?
Not a ton.
We're all level 1. No one has a lot of hit points.
11 piercing damage.
I'm down. Oh,
Your cleric is down.
Oh, Kraloth.
Down on the ground.
oh okay. Yep.
Jack.
Yeah, seeing Kraloth go down, not good for any of us. Because one warg is like shiny happy, and the other one is still.
Yep.
I'm gonna sort of like psychically tell Kieran, give me an update on those goblins. I'm gonna move closer.
He's like, oh, they noticed when you yelled for sure.
Yeah, and Kieran does have keen hearing and sight, and gets advantage on wisdom checks. So if you did want to roll, if there was hidden things that we were trying to see.
Can he? No, he can't show you images because you're not seeing.
No, I'm
with
not trying to
his
see through.
eye.
I just
No.
just to get a.
He tells you that they've heard you, but they're not coming yet.
Okay, perfect. That's all I need to know. And I'm gonna pull out that orb again and run my hands over it and toll the dead on the one that is hurting.
Okay.
Nice.
So it can make me a wisdom saving throw again.
19.
That'll do it.
So it is now Red's turn. Red, you see your friend go down.
Red would be so upset. Rayloth, no! And he'd like quickly fire another arrow directly at the creature. All right. No! That was a 8 to hit.
Kraloth, make a death saving throw.
Oh no.
Here we go. It's a 2.
Oh,
That's
fuck.
one failure. You creep one step closer to death as your blood
Dun, dun, dun.
your blood pools
First
in the courtyard.
encounter.
Oh no.
Doran.
D&D learning time. A dash. Is that the same as just moving?
Twice.
So essentially you move and then you use your action to move again.
Oh, I'm going to have to do that.
It's the warg's turns, and you know what you have done is distracted them from definitely killing your friend entirely. Because
Yep.
Because I'm all up in the face.
Exactly.
Get in there.
As you'll come to learn, if you are down and making death saves, if you are attacked and damaged further, that auto counts as another failure. Which means if those wargs had tried to eat Kraloth more, you would be dead.
I would be dead. Yeah.
Totally
Of course,
dead.
it makes
Hundo.
sense. Logical
Hundo.
sense.
But now they have a new target. So they're both going to attack you, Doran.
Mm-hmm.
Does a 18 hit?
Okay, I have an 18.
Yeah.
Okay, so one hits and one misses.
Okay.
The one that hits deals 8 piercing damage to you.
Which brings me down to a 7. 8
Okay.
minus 13. 13 minus 8.
No.
5.
5.
Math.
You're down to 5?
Yeah.
It's all right.
These
We
guys
got
are
this.
tough.
Don't you worry.
Wow.
I mean, they're horse-sized wolves. I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Just picture that.
Jack.
Yeah, Jack is going to like take some steps towards the scene just because he doesn't love being out on the bridge alone, this target, but also doesn't want to get close to the horse-sized wolves.
Sure.
So he'll sort of get across half the distance and run his hand over that sphere again, bringing this sonorous sound, trying to pull the soul out of this one that's been injured. So they could make me another save.
Okay, that is a 12.
That's not going to do it. They can take 10 more damage, please.
Yes. Nice.
It crouches back and whines and looks for some exit maybe, looks over its shoulder and its tail drops between its legs and you see blood start to run out of its mouth. Maybe it's Kraloth's, maybe it's Doran's, maybe it's its own. But it's still alive.
And Kieran, those goblins, they're still in the same place?
Yeah, they're busy
What are they doing?
playing. It
Playing?
looks like they're playing
With what?
pumpkins.
Okay.
Red?
I'm going to attack the bleeding one
Okay,
again. And third time, I'm going to miss.
let's
So,
see.
16 to hit.
That hits.
That's 8 damage.
You kill
piercing.
it.
Oh, amazing.
Nice.
And the warg, the arrow pierces through the bottom jaw of the warg as it's like howling, opens its mouth upward, and the arrow pierces through and pins its lower jaw to the stone floor. And I'm like, all right. And I lick my fingers or something.
Ew.
Not sexually. I get ready to knock another arrow, probably.
Kraloth, make a save versus death.
All right. This is. Come on, die. All right. That is an 11. Now, am I adding my constitution here? Or?
No. This is a very special kind of saving throw.
This
you don't
is-
add anything to it.
Legit. Okay. So 11.
Okay, so that's one fail, one save.
Okay.
Doran, what do you do?
Doran.
The warg beside you crumples in a heap as it is skewered by your friend's arrow.
And of course, by this time, I've got my battle axe readied in hand with my shield in the other hand. And I take a deadly swing at the beast in front of me with an 8.
I don't think you've ever seen a warg before. They're so much bigger than you. And you swing, but you miss. It dances out of your way.
And I'm going to take a bonus action and use my second wind
Okay.
to
Good call.
bring my HP back up,
I
which is a
love
1d10 plus 1. So 11.
Nice.
Amazing.
Nicely done.
You're back to full.
Doesn't
to
get
full.
better than that.
That's
Wow.
perfect. Good job.
It's the warg's turn.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to try to bite you.
Mm-hmm.
with a 20.
Oh, and that does
she's
hit.
rolling well.
God damn. Obviously, it hits. It's critical.
Yeah.
No, it's not a crit.
It's
Sorry,
a
that was a
dirty
dirty
20.
20.
Oh, dirty 20.
For 11 points of damage.
Holy moly. Thank goodness
You
I
just
just did
healed.
that
Oh, no.
then, because now I have 2.
So worth it though.
It grabs your arm and just shakes you. Just like that. Is that the sound that the work makes?
No,
Or
that's
you-
me going, it's got my fucking arm.
Jack.
This is that's the sound Jack makes in response. It's just drawn out of him in the heat of the moment. He is not ready to see one of his friends down and the other one being torn apart by a wolf the size of a horse. But he's gonna do the same. He's gonna ring this orb again. Let that big sonorous hum try and pull the life out of this one left living, and
8. I
and
fail.
8. Perfect. This one been injured before?
No, this is a shiny, fresh, and new
Well, it can
ward.
take 1 whole point of damage.
Aye. Some
Doran, are you okay?
I'm doing all right.
the smell
Okay,
of
then.
singed fur mildly assaults your nostrils.
Does no one have any healing besides?
No, I
So what do we do?
think I'm gonna get up close and
bang.
try and get ready to like drag our friend out of the corpse out of the way. So I think I'm just gonna try and get up there at least.
Without
also-
being in like
Yeah, take
Range.
the long way around. Keep Doran between.
Yeah.
You know, he said he was okay. I trust Doran's judgment. He's been in lots of fights.
fine.
He's been in way more fights than I have against goblins. I've been told. And
It's almost like a nice strong hug. This warg has got my arm,
it's
and
like
it's
a
like
sharp cheddar. You know, you can
do you
appreciate
get
a sharp.
it's almost
hug.
like exactly a sharp cheddar. It's like
There's
a
something
recognizable
pungent about
pain.
this.
It's not necessarily unenjoyable.
don't know what kind of cheese you guys eat.
Now,
You know,
how do I get stabilized?
So
Sorry to
someone
interrupt.
can perform a medicine check on you.
Okay.
That's intelligence, isn't it?
No, it's
No.
wisdom.
Wisdom. I could do it. Oh.
And essentially that's performing basic first aid.
Right.
And if they can do that successfully, they will stabilize you at 0 hit points, which just means that you're going to be able to stop making death saves.
Beautiful.
If they were clerics, they could cast Spare the Dying.
Yes, which
you
I can
have as
do
a
as a bonus
cantrip.
action.
You were the wrong person to run in.
Not do it
Well,
on
But
yourself.
it was my fault.
Well,
'cause
I
you
thought.
love me.
Yeah,
and-
I wasn't. I thought you were. Yeah.
This is what you
Oh,
get for loving red.
I
It's
know.
just a natural
But don't worry,
consequence.
Red
There was
loves
kind of
you.
a. It was a meta thing because I would have seen that he wasn't
know.
on the.
It's all
building,
right.
But
It's the
All right,
realities.
Red, it's your turn.
I'm going to scale down. I'm going to do like a slippy slide. I'm going to get my nails in there and go right down the side.
Okie doke.
And I'm going to use my feline agility to move double my speed because I moved 0 the second round. It's reset.
Yes.
And I'm gonna run up to my best buddy Kraloth and like tears in my eyes. I'm gonna try to do a medicine roll.
Okay.
I don't have
Fantastic.
advantage, unfortunately, which should have come probably because the things. So I'm just gonna roll straight up.
Are you trying to bargain for
Yeah,
inspiration?
a little bit.
I'm there definitely trying to help. You're not alone on the like Kraloth is alone and bleeding on the ground and that's a
You would
concern.
have to use your action to take the help action.
Do you want to?
Yeah.
But can he do that on his turn?
No.
Okay. What if I readied an action and I did help on my turn so that when he rolls, he could roll with advantage?
You could definitely do that.
I mean, you're +1.
Yeah, I mean
But
we
I'm
do it.
+2. It's not that big of a difference.
But advantage is reasonable.
Exactly. So I'm going to offer help instead. I'm going to walk over to Jack and say, Jack, please do whatever you can. Help Kraloth. And I'm going to like force your hands over the wound.
Yeah, I think it's like let's get him out of here a couple of feet, get him flat on the ground, put some pressure on that. I hear that works. It's just like a lot of team effort making the plan.
Actually, I'm sorry. Are you next or is Doran next in initiative?
I
it
think the
goes Red,
wargs-
Kraloth, Doran, Warg, Jack.
It
he
might-
literally
so
just
it's-
went.
No, but he does more damage. Yeah.
Yeah,
You
there's
and I.
no way he's going to die next. You and I can.
So I'm going to use the help action on my turn. I'm going to help Jack to save my
Wicked bad.
and let us hope that Doran's crafted armor holds up.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a badass. Do you see that soldier? He's...
Kraloth, make a save against death.
16.
There you go.
good.
Okay, 2
Nice.
successes.
I might not need your help.
Doran, you are up against one warg, mano a mano.
So I attack.
Nice.
with a 20.
Dirty 20.
Hell
Dirty
yeah.
20.
Yeah, you hit. How much damage do you do?
8 points of damage.
Nicely done.
8+.
It's a battle axe,
Battle
not a great
axe.
axe.
Okay, so
That's
you
why it's one-handed.
take a good chop against this.
Oh, we're eating warg tonight.
And it tries to bite you right back. 12 misses you.
Yep.
Nice.
Jack.
The tides are turning.
Red, okay, hold him down. Put pressure there. I'm
holding,
gonna
I'm
try
holding.
and stabilize him. We got it.
Alright.
Kraloth, you're gonna be okay.
Stay
I rolled
with us.
14 plus 1 is a 15.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yes.
Nice.
I'm
All
gonna
right.
erase this.
Kraloth, you're gonna be okay.
Does he open his eyes?
No, he's still unconscious.
I see him moaning and I kiss him on the forehead.
Aw,
Just not dead.
that's just a free action for sure.
I hope so.
Acts of affection are free.
Come with me, buddy. You're coming back. You're not ready to leave us yet.
Red, he's gonna be okay, but we got to take care of that wolf the size of a horse.
fucker's mine.
It's
I
your
got-
turn, Red. What
And
do
I
you do?
turn around and I draw my bow and I fire an arrow between that fucker's eyes.
Get him.
Do you want to move to a position that's more
18.
advantageous? Okay.
Yeah, I shift back.
Sure.
18,
hits.
5 damage piercing.
Okie doke.
Oh, take him down. Take him down.
Kraloth, you are unconscious. What are you dreaming of?
I remember a time when I was in the mists when my entire party had died. And I'd completely lost the will to live. So I became very reckless. I would just run in to a mob of zombies or skeletons and I would just hack and slash. And there were times where I would be knocked out. And I think for sure my time had come. But for one reason or another, I would always wake up.
So they're just these like flashes of mist and undead, the groans,
Yeah,
limbs crawling towards you as you're trying to crawl away, hands and feet like
Yes.
bleeding in the
Oh,
darkness.
I love that. Yes, this one like creature with like half its jaw hanging. As I was getting closer and closer to death, it was getting closer. And then all of a sudden, it vanishes into mist.
And the whole time, you haven't been afraid at all because you've been there so many times.
Yep.
This is like
If
this
it's-
is like your second home.
It's interesting because I would think that it wouldn't bother me. I've been so prepared for death that it's just kind of, something that I've expected. But this is the first time that I've been close to death since I met Red. And so there's a part of me that's like, no, it's not my time yet. This isn't right.
You hear sort of distantly, unconscious, but you're still perceiving the world. You can hear like the clang of battle. Doran, there is a warg that is still
And then
very
over that
much
fuzzy kiss
alive,
on your forehead.
like snarling at you. It's your turn. What do you do?
I snarl back.
Okay. Make a snarl check.
Intimidate.
No, just
Flexed his mouth off.
And I immediately attack
roll. Yes.
again
Yes.
with
Nice.
a
Oh, nice.
22,
Math.
doing
Checks out.
8 points of damage.
Wow.
Get
Okay.
him. Get him.
There's not much warg left to him.
You hear the long blade of my battle axe slice through another
Just it's a
hairy
wet
chunk.
sound,
Yeah.
like chopping through a rotten log. He snarls and launches himself at you with a 17 to hit.
And fails.
No, he misses you, Jack.
Seeing that Kraloth is stabilized, I sort of step to the other side to put myself between his body and the warg, and I pull out my orb and like hold it up high, and it's almost glowing a little bit with the life force it has absorbed already, and just like, warg, die already! And I wanted to make another save.
Okay, 3, not super wise.
How do you feel about 7 as damage?
How do you feel about murdering a warg?
I love it. I love it a lot.
You did it!
Yeah, and like holding it up and just that whole rest of the life in this warg, right out the mouth and nose, you can almost see the spirit of this wolf pulled into the air and almost take form for a minute until it's sucked into this orb and destroyed.
Yes, yes. And the warg collapses. Part of its body sort of shrivels as it falls to the ground. And as you stand, the three of you, with Kraloth lying on the cobblestones of this courtyard, you notice that the bell has stopped ringing.
Thank you, our patrons, for listening. This has been an exclusive look at the first episode of Dice Shame for you, our loyal subjects and supporters. And none of this would be possible without the likes of you. Since this is an exclusive preview, please remember to download this along with the next 2 episodes on October 31st. Every download helps, and we're hoping to make a splash. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter and Instagram @DiceShame and on our website, diceshamepodcast.com. And again, thank you.